Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of Mara Knits. And guess what? We're talking knitting! Okay, so we've finally got a lovely day and I'm able to come out into the garden and record a vlog about knitting. I know, shocker. Oh, and now I'm getting distracted by my husband putting the washing out. So, what am I going to talk about? I'm going to talk about my Sheepjes shawl. And this is it. Which way around does it go? That way, I think. Okay. So there you go. It's the Lavenderlicious colourway and it's a cotton acrylic blend. Now this was treat yarn that was bought for me a while back, and given the climate emergency, etc., the growing awareness, blah blah blah, basically I don't normally knit with cotton. And I have concerns about cotton. I have more concerns about acrylic, but there we go. So firstly, I haven't blocked this. That's because, as I say, I don't normally knit with cotton. So I went online to, see what was said about blocking cotton, and basically what was said was to steam block it. Now I don't generally steam block. To be honest, if I can get away without blocking, I don't block. So I haven't blocked it yet, in part because it's large, and in part because, to be perfectly honest, I'm not sure it needs it. I also haven't sewn the ends in, don't tell anyone. But I am quite pleased with it from the point of view that I like it as an item, I like it as a garment. It's nice and big, it's actually quite warm. It's mainly been living in my drawer since I finished it because it's not been the right weather for it, but this is going to be great come winter. Now, cotton, Sheepjes. This is the first time I've used Sheepjes Whirl. Is it Whirl? I get mixed up. Mainly because I guess the best way to put it is I've had other things on the go. So it's not been that I don't like it, I don't like the colourways or anything like that. I think they're fantastic, and some of the photos that you see online of things that people are making out of these are amazing. Hello, you coming in shot, are you? Yeah. So it's just purely and simply been that I've had other things on the go. But cotton. Now there are a lot of environmental concerns regarding the production of cotton. Its water usage, etc, etc, etc. So I decided to contact Sheepjes and see if I could find out some more information about the credentials of their cotton and where their yarns are coming from, because that's another thing. It's not just what the yarn is made of or what your fabric is made of, it's also where's it come from. You know, something that's produced locally is going to have a much different impact on the environment than something that's been shipped around the world 3 times or whatever. Anyway, they did get back to me. I promised I would let you know. Let me find it so I can tell you exactly what was said. So I contacted them and said, hi, I'm currently researching into different yarns regarding their eco-friendly credentials. This information is for use on my blog, YouTube channel, sharing on the Eco Crafting and Living Facebook page, group, and also to inform my own yarn purchases. I've been looking around your website but can find no information about the origin of the fibres used in the Sheepjes Whirl yarn. I know it's a cotton acrylic blend, but not much more than that. Could you tell me the location of where the cotton comes from, etc.? Also, do you have any plans to make a version without the acrylic from organic cotton or another sustainable fibre? I also understand that the woolly whirl is a cotton wool blend, so would appreciate any information you can give me about that yarn as an alternative as well. Thanks in advance for your help and information you can give, Mara. Okay, so they took a little while in getting back to me, which I'm not bothered about, because to me, all that says to me is that quite possibly they're checking the information. You know, I mean, it wasn't like they waited 3 months to reply, it was like a week. So no problems with that. So the response was, hi Mara, thank you for your message. Most of our wool comes from Australia or New Zealand. At the moment there is not, brackets yet, there's a little spelling thing there, so I'm having to guess exactly what she meant, but hey, her English is a lot better than my Dutch. There is not an international standard for the wool companies that guarantees that they are working animal friendly. Scheepjes is a family business who highly values corporate social responsibility. All of our yarn partners have to have an OKO Tex 100 certificate in order to work with us. That is the scope of our influence at the moment. Our aim is to have a guarantee in the near future. Best regards, and I'm not even going to try and pronounce the name because I'll get it wrong, but I think it looks a bit like road. I'm English, I'm terrible at foreign languages. So I replied, and I said, thanks for your reply. Does the cotton come from Australia or New Zealand as well? Because she hadn't actually told me where that had come from. And the answer to that was, no, our cottons come from Asia. And obviously I thanked her for the information. No indication whether or not they're going to bring out a new product line, etc, etc. But hey, I suppose they did get back to me. So I looked up this the standard that she mentions, OKO Tex 100, and to be perfectly honest, I wasn't actually that impressed with what I read about it. So this is about the actual standard. Essentially all it means is that the companies complied with their national laws. So if I'm reading that correctly, and I do believe I am, that would mean a different thing in one country to another. So actually it's an international standard. It's a bit pants really, isn't it? That said, if there's no alternatives in place, looking at it from the yarn company's point of view, they're in a competitive market. They're not going to be able to afford to send people all over the world every 5 minutes to look at what conditions are and stuff like that. Raises some interesting questions, that, doesn't it? So what that says to me as a consumer is I'm not really any further forward on informing my choice about where to spend my money. And that's a shame. I really like the colours in this. I wasn't happy about the knots. Lord, was I not happy about the knots. But that might just have been a duff one that I got. Essentially, I'm not going to buy another one. I'm not going to buy another one based on the fact it's an acrylic blend, and I have no intention of buying any more acrylic. Okay, acrylic stuff that I already own, different matter. I'm not going to throw things away just because they're acrylic or they're plastic or whatever like that. I'm going to get the use out of them that I can try and get, because I think that's the most responsible thing to do. But when I replace things, or I buy new clothing, or I buy new yarn, or should I say new to me clothing, because I'm prioritising getting second-hand or charity shop finds or pre-loved or whatever you want to put it, clothing, reusing clothing as much as possible. But how do we as consumers bring about something? I mean, giving them the benefit of the doubt, right? I don't know the company. My understanding is they've got quite a decent reputation, but I don't know. Let's take them on their word. They want to be socially responsible, okay? Take them on their word on that. How do we as consumers help them become more socially responsible? If it's not just a case of we want you to sign up to this standard, if those standards don't even exist internationally, what do we do? I haven't got the answer to that one yet. I am contacting some other yarn firms, and I'll report back on what I hear from them. I'm also currently looking into sock yarns that do not have any acrylic or nylon in them. What tends to be nylon in sock yarns, doesn't it? Because to be honest, I like knitting socks. I want to keep knitting socks. Hand knit socks are better than shop bought socks. Let's just be out there about it. But I also want to purchase responsibly. Now, the bulk of what I knit into socks is usually Regia and West Yorkshire Spinners. So those are the two companies that I'm approaching next for information. Now, I know West Yorkshire Spinners has at least some of their yarns have the British wool mark, but I haven't had a chance to sit down and actually go through it all in detail yet, but I will, and I will report back. Okay, so yay, we got to talk knitting. I will be wearing this. I am glad that I made it. I have enjoyed knitting it. I will put details about the pattern, etc. Hello? You're gonna give me a kiss? You're gonna give me a kiss? I'll put the details up on screen about the pattern, etc. and whatnot. I did adjust it slightly. I'm going to tell everyone it was a design choice. In reality, I made a mistake and decided to just follow the mistake through. But it looks fine. And I will be back next week. Not sure what I'm going to talk about next week, so you'll have to tune in to find out. In the meantime, what are you doing regarding your yarn purchases? What is your understanding about the issues regarding yarn production, etc. It's, I was going to say, a fascinating area, but I think it's also an important area to learn about and to inform ourselves about as consumers. So I'm Mara. This is currently Mara Knits, but I'm thinking about changing the channel name. And tell me what you think down below. Give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you'd like to hear about and see new videos. And I will see you next week. Take care. Bye bye.